Today, we're going to be focused upon 5 profitable trading tools. That's the name of today's episode number 415, if you can believe it. We're going to be talking about profitable trading tools that you can use to become a better trader. We all could use better tools. We could always use better things to help us become better traders. And today I want to share with you some of the things that I use that have helped me over the years. Some of these things are things we provide here at Follow the Money for our premium members. At least 2 of them are. And some of them are just completely free tools that you can find online. So we're going to be talking about that today. Later in segment 2, I'm going to be sharing, we're going to be doing the book club, where I'm going to be reading a portion of a book, this time our own book, Bankruptcy of Our Nation. So stick around for segment 2 there. We'll be talking about that. By the way, those of you listening by way of podcast audio, just know that today we're doing something special. We're actually recording a video, a companion video to go along with today's podcast, which will be helpful when we talk about these profitable trading tools, because I'm going to be showing you some things on the screen that I think will be helpful to help you see why these tools are very helpful. So for those of you who are not familiar, before we begin, I should just probably let you know that I have been trading for 25 years. It's hard to believe. 1996, 1997 was around the time that I began to really get immersed into the stock market, and traded my first stock way back then, traded my first option in 2002, and bought my first cryptocurrency, I should say, in 2012, 2013 timeframe. So we've been doing this for a very long time and have been helping people all around the world through followthemoney.com, which is our website, to help people. Now, we've created all kinds of tools for traders and investors. One of the most popular tools we've developed is our Profit Tracker trend trading software, which actually allows you to pinpoint ideal entries and exits on swing trades, position trades, long-term investments, and all of that. So our premium members have access to our Profit Tracker software. Very cool stuff. Now today, what we are going to be doing is we're going to be jumping into 5 profitable trading tools that you can use to improve your trading. And what I want to do is just move right in. So let's begin with taking a look at tool number 1. And tool number 1 here is our own nightly trading alerts. Now, this is something we came up with many years ago, and it's a member service that we provide here at followthemoney.com that I think is very powerful. Let me just go ahead. If you're watching, obviously on video, you'll be able to see this. If not, simply go to followthemoney.com/5tools, and you'll go right to the video where you can watch along as we talk through this. Now here you'll see we're on the back end of followthemoney.com. We're actually in the members area. And what we're going to do is we're going to come down and we're going to click on the nightly trading alerts, which is right here underneath trading ideas. We have a lot of different services for our members. Let's just go ahead and open this up, this nightly trading alerts. And what I want you to see here is that we have several different types of trading alerts. I use this service every single day. In fact, I built this for our own team here, and of course our members have access to it. But this actually takes the Profit Tracker trend trading system that we've created, and it searches for new signals every single day. So if you're a swing trader, then you'll be happy to come in here and see that we have new swing uptrend alerts every day. Now, these are for swing uptrends. These are for swing traders looking for a stock that could go up 1 to 10% over the next 1 to 10 days, right? That's kind of what swing traders are looking for. And you can come through here and you can sort these. What I do is I come in and I will sort by sector or by industry. I will look for ETFs that might be setting up. I'll look for different stocks that might be setting up. And the sectors, by the way, I have another tip on sectors we'll save for our trading research tool number 5. But sectors are very, very important whenever you're trading, just knowing the wind, where the wind is blowing when it comes to sectors, which sectors are leading, which sectors are not. Industries the same way. So here we have the swing uptrend alerts. This is great for swing traders. Penny stock alerts. If you're a penny stock investor or trader, these are stocks that are forming new uptrends within our system that are also considered penny stocks, usually trading for less than $5. And then we also have our swing downtrend alerts. So if you're a short trader, if you like to short stocks or use put options, then these are stocks that are actually forming the opposite signal in our system. They're going down. So all of this right here you can see available on this page. This is for swing traders. Now, position traders, we also have signals for position traders. Now, I, over the years, have moved from being a day trader to a swing trader to really finding my sweet spot as a part-time position trader. So I do a lot of position trading personally. And so I am looking at this page regularly, looking for new position uptrend alerts. So stocks that are forming brand new position uptrends, I'm looking for those. I want to know what those are. And so I can come in here and I see there's 9 as of this particular filming, as we're filming this right now. You'll see that there's 9. But every day, these change. And so you'll be able to come in and see these every day if you remember. Position downtrend alerts. These are stocks that are forming new downtrends on the position trend view. That means that these are pretty aggressive downtrend alerts. So downtrend and uptrend alerts are something that I'm constantly looking at. We have long-term signals and we have many other strategies. But the nightly trading alerts page here at Follow the Money is something that I absolutely positively must have in my trading routine. So this is something that I have. I teach our members how to use this. Every single day, we're able to come in and see what is new, what is happening, what is forming a new swing uptrend, what's forming a new position uptrend, what's forming a new long-term uptrend signal, right? So this is powerful. Now, remember, whenever you're a trader, finding these types of signals isn't the end-all, be-all, because you still want to drill down and find out, is this stock worth owning, right? Is this stock, does it have good fundamentals? Is it a company that I would even want to own, even if it's just for a few days? So you have to do more due diligence than simply finding something that's forming a new uptrend. So you may have 100 different stocks or ETFs that are forming a new uptrend, but which one do you buy? Well, you have to be discerning and you have to drill down a little deeper and find those. So the nightly trading alerts here at Follow the Money is probably my #1 tool that I use regularly. In fact, every single day, I send a new swing trading idea to our members here at Follow the Money. We've been doing that for years, and I draw that swing trading idea from this list of new swing uptrend alerts. So it's a very powerful service, very powerful tool that we use, and you just have to have something like this, I think, when you're a trader. Our members are very appreciative to have that kind of access when it comes to finding new trading ideas, okay? So let's move on. That's #1. So Follow the Money's nightly trading alerts, very powerful tool, something I use regularly, in fact, every single day. Now let's move on to another research tool. This one is free. This is a free stock screener over at Finviz.com. Let's go over here and take a look at this. I'll show you on the screen. And you can see here, this is Finviz.com. And here you're able to search and create different types of screens. So you can screen for different types of setups. One of my favorite types of screens to do is to simply come in here and actually look for stocks that have strong earnings and positive earnings. So you can literally just come in here and look for stocks that have solid earnings growth this year, next year, quarter over quarter. You can also look for revenue growth quarter over quarter, looking for all of these to be positive. And what happens is you end up with a list that is focused upon, positive earnings, positive sales. You can even go through and look at some of the ratios like return on assets and return on equity and return on investment. These are very, very important. And as you do that, you'll begin to whittle down the list of stocks that are meeting those criteria. This is a really great way to find stocks that are meeting a certain fundamental or even a technical criteria that you're looking for. This is an absolutely free tool that you can use. I've taught about this. In fact, I've done videos on YouTube even on the topic of Finviz over the years. It's just a very simple, free tool that's very powerful. I use Finviz probably every day, if not every other day, whenever I am doing my own trading research. So this is a powerful tool that we use, Finviz.com. We actually have an affiliate link with Finviz, and if you decide that you want to upgrade to the elite with Finviz, shoot us an email, or actually what you would do is you would actually use our link. It's getfinviz.com. And if you sign up for Finviz through our link, we'll send you some free videos that we've done to show you how to better use this tool. It's a very powerful tool. So Finviz.com, a really interesting tool that you can use, and I think you'll find a lot of value there. And it's free. You really don't have to pay any money. But if you decide to upgrade to the Elite, well, use our affiliate link if you'd like, getfinviz.com. Use that URL and sign up. And then shoot us an email and say, hey, I signed up. Give me those free videos that you were talking about. Be happy to send those to you. So Finviz, very, very powerful. Also, you can find some videos we've done on Finviz in the description box on this video today. Now, let's talk about number 3. So we talked about the nightly trading alerts, number 1. Very powerful tool over here at followthemoney.com. Use it every day. Finviz's free stock screener tool, that's really powerful as well. Let's talk about the third trading research tool on our list today, and that is the Zacks ranking system. So Zacks.com. Let me open this up, and you'll see Zacks.com. Now, Zacks is an interesting website and an interesting service. And what they do is they actually measure stocks based upon their earnings revisions and earnings power, and it's really focused upon fundamentals. Very, very powerful service. So what you could do is you could type in a stock, say something like Microsoft. Let's just type that in and you'll see how it works. You don't have to have an account here for this to work. You can actually use Zacks for free. You can type in any stock and it'll give you their Zacks rank. Now the Zacks rank goes from 1 to 5, 1 being a strong buy, 2 being buy, 3 being hold, 4 being sell, and 5 being a strong sell. And if you look at their short-term rating system, you'll discover that stocks with a number 1 rank have annualized returns over time of about 25%. That's compared to the S&P's 11% that they use here. The number 2 Zacks rank typically outperforms the S&P as well with 18% versus the S&P's 11% over this time period. So stocks that carry a number 1 or a number 2 ranking are very powerful. And I actually track those for our members here. When we put out new ideas, we like, new trading ideas, we like for the ideas to also have number 1 or number 2 Zacks ranks whenever they can. So the Zacks rank is very powerful. Zacks.com is a very easy website to use. You don't have to pay. It's completely free for you to type in any stock and find out, what the current ranking is. Again, I like the number 1 and number 2s because they have a very good track record over time. So there's Zacks.com. I would encourage you to check out their free ranking system. Now, number 4 trading research tool I think is one of the neatest ones that I've come across, or one of the best that I've seen, and that is Simply Wall Street. Simply Wall Street has an interesting fundamental snowflake system that they have created. It kind of sounds funny when you think about it, but let me just type in and show you what I mean. So what we can do here on simplywall.st, it's Simply Wall Street, is you can type in any stock. Let's say AAPL, for example, Apple. I own Apple, so I'll come in here and take a look, and we'll see here that we have a snowflake that is not full completely. But you'll notice that each side of the snowflake has different areas. So like, for example, different ideas. So value this way, future this way, past this way, health this way, and dividend this way. So the more that the snowflake spreads out in that direction, the more meaningful it is in that direction. Not only that, you can also scroll down and see a lot of great fundamental data visualized about this particular company. So you can scroll down and see, or you could click on another. And one of the neatest, or one of the most powerful, I should say, aspects of Simply Wall Street that I like is the screener. So we already talked about the screener over at Finviz, but there's also one here at Simply Wall Street, and it's a little bit different. So you can actually say, okay, I'm looking for stocks that have a lot of future growth potential, but that are also very healthy. So we could maybe do something like this. So then we would just take a look and see what happens. And we see that some stocks are popping up down here. We have about 1,300 stocks. So we could pull this all the way and see if anything still pulls up. and we're going extreme health and extreme future. Now, we could also say we want some dividend in there, right? We could bring that up a little bit this way. We could say that the value, we'd like for it to be trading at a little bit of a value right now, right? So you can slowly kind of mess with this, and you'll find various stocks that pull up. You can also restrict to make sure that you're only looking at certain stocks. You could say, I only want stocks in the United States, for example, which is really going to limit your overall results with that particular screen. But nonetheless, this is a very powerful tool that you can use. The Snowflake system is something that we've been using now for some time. We like it, and it helps visualize fundamentals, which I think is a really powerful aspect of Simply Wall Street. Visualizing fundamentals. We understand that when you visualize technicals or chart reading, if you know how to read a chart, you know how powerful that can be. So visualizing the technicals is, of course, very powerful for a trader. But when you can take the fundamentals, the PE ratio, the PS ratio, some of the different sales and earnings, margins and whatnot, and you're able to chart those, it really tells a story. And so this is a really powerful tool. Simply Wall Street is free and not free. In other words, I think they give you 10 free searches per month. So you can actually look up 10 different stocks or ETF, or 10 different stocks, I guess, each month before it forces you to have to sign up. So you could really use it for free if you use it judiciously. So there is trading research tool number 4. And then finally, one that we really, really like here at Follow the Money is our own sector rankings, So let me open up our sector rankings here on our website. Again, coming back over to our member page. Sector rankings are so powerful that it's something that you really just want to focus upon whenever you are trading. And what I mean by this is the fact that the direction of a stock will be based upon the direction of its overall sector. So if a stock, for example, in the tech sector is, you're looking at a stock there in the tech sector, well, look at the tech sector itself and say, is it in an uptrend? Is it in a downtrend? What's its ranking relatively speaking to other sectors? So right now, whenever you come into Follow the Money sector rankings, what we find here is that at this particular moment, now if you're watching this a year later, it won't be the same, of course, or even a day later. But as you can see here, right now, energy from a long-term perspective, if you're a long-term investor, energy, consumer staples, and utilities are leading the rankings right now, whereas communications and consumer discretionary are down here. So from a long-term perspective, that's what's leading right now. So if you're a long-term investor and you're looking for opportunities, well, this really helps you to kind of figure out which areas might be, where you might want to be. If you're a position trader, we have rankings for those. You're able to see energy, utilities, and consumer staples, healthcare, basic materials in that order. So if you're a swing trader, you would come down and you would look at the swing trading rankings for the sector rankings, and you see that technology, communications, services, and consumer discretionary showing some leadership here in the near term. So how do you use this? Well, if you're looking at the way many of our members use it is they take our nightly trading alerts ideas and they will then filter them through the sector rankings. So they see that technology and communications and consumer discretionary are leading sectors as a swing trader. So then they're looking for those stocks that might be tech, communication, or consumer discretionary when they're looking at our nightly trading alerts. They're looking for those stocks that are in the leading sectors. Here's the secret traders can learn is that those stocks that you want to trade, if you're trying to go long, are those stocks that are in the leading sectors. You want to drill down and find what's the leading sector, what's the leading industry within that sector, and then what's the leading stock within that industry. And that's how you find great stocks over time. It's a little bit simplified, but it helps you understand how to approach it. So these are 5 tools that you can use to become a better trader, to improve your trading performance, to help you find stocks or ETFs that might be setting up properly for you. These are 5 tools that we use here at Follow the Money very, very regularly. So I really hope this helps you. I hope this helps you in your own trading research. And if you have any questions for us, always feel free to reach out to us at followthemoney.com. On the other side of this break, we'll be back with a book club segment. We'll be reading a little portion from Bankruptcy of Our Nation, a book that I wrote many years ago. We'll be reading a little segment from that. Hold tight, and we'll see you on the other side. All right, friends, welcome back to the program. We are in segment 2 now of our episode today, episode number 415. We focused in the first segment on 5 profitable trading tools, and I really hope that was beneficial to you. I want to encourage you to check out some of those tools, and of course, some of them require you to be a member here at Follow the Money. In particular, our nightly trading alerts and our sector rankings, so powerful. Our members constantly let us know how useful those are. So I would encourage you to check that out. Now, today in segment 2, what I want to do is I want to focus on our book club. So in the past, we have had a segment where I will read an excerpt from a book. And today, I'm going to be reading from Bankruptcy of Our Nation, the revised and expanded version that was put out in 2012. I wrote this book several years ago. And I'm reading from chapter 11. The chapter is entitled Maxed Out, the New American Slavery. And I begin. This is on page 191. Americans pride themselves on being a free people. But in reality, Americans are enslaved. The word slave conjures up a very negative image, perhaps of a poor soul being sold on an auction block to the highest bidder. This is an example of physical slavery. Today, approximately 27 million people are physical slaves. Being enslaved, however, can occur in more than one form and is not always visible. A human being becomes a slave when he loses or willingly gives up the control over his own life to someone or something else. For example, we are slaves to our culture when we go against our better judgment and refuse to question the status quo. We are slaves to religion when we are fearful to question the validity of our own beliefs and values and permit others to tell us what we believe and why we believe it. We are slaves to entertainment when our lives are spent in a reckless pursuit of pleasure and a complete avoidance of anything resembling pain. We are slaves to our politics when we adopt political persuasions based upon our culture, the media, or other persuasive individuals or groups, instead of from our own convictions. We are slaves to a paycheck when we feel trapped in a job that pays us just enough to survive, but not enough to ever break free financially. We are slaves to money when the pursuit of it becomes our primary obsession. We are slaves to consumption and consumerism when the clever marketing messages concocted by corporations and the media dictate our appetites and spending patterns, which then trap us in a vain search for an increased amount of self-worth through the purchase of mere objects. And we are slaves to debt when we sabotage our own financial futures in order to obey the commands of our corporate masters through overconsumption with borrowed money. I would suggest that each of us can identify with at least one of the above forms of slavery. Given the fact that our nation has a debt-based monetary system, it should come as no surprise that one of the largest forms of enslavement in America today is debt slavery. America's consumer debt levels have skyrocketed over the last several decades as corporations and the credit industry have worked hard to convince the entire collective culture that the buy now, pay later mentality will bring them happiness. Today, America's public education system churns out tens of thousands of young adults without ever providing them with even a basic financial education, leaving financial literacy rates among young adults at dismally low levels. The corporations and the credit industry, which are acutely aware of this education gap, have stepped in to become America's financial educators. Unfortunately, their noxious brand of financial education involves teaching people how to become consumers, not producers. Through the media, American consumers are encouraged to take on massive debts in order to enrich corporations and the credit industry. Meanwhile, our elected leaders in Washington are the perfect model of the buy now, pay later mentality, having accumulated well over $15 trillion in debt and adding another $1 trillion in debt annually. Of course, quick pause here to note that this was written back in 2012. If only we had accumulated $15 trillion in debt. It stands much higher than that today. Sadly, even those Americans who have been able to avoid becoming enslaved to debt are not debt-free. Becoming debt-free in America is a complete illusion. In truth, you and your children are ultimately responsible for the debts incurred by Washington's financial excesses. The debt that the American government owes is yours because you are America. The Congress and the Senate are not spending monopoly money to drop bombs in foreign lands and to bail out the rich. They are borrowing it from others with you as the cosigner. Washington's frivolous spending is done with the checkbook of the U.S. citizenry. Think about it. How can you be free and at the same time be a citizen of the greatest debtor nation in world history? And likewise, how can a man be free if he owes money on everything that he owns? And a quick conclusion here from President John Adams when he wrote, "There are two ways to conquer and enslave a nation. One is by the sword, and the other is by debt." I go on in this particular chapter and talk about how the present must be the minimum. This is a concept here that's very common in America, that the present level of consumption, the present level of economic growth must always be the absolute minimum. This, of course, is at the foundation of our economic problems. So anyway, this is taken from the chapter Maxed Out, The New American Slavery, chapter 11, from the book Bankruptcy of Our Nation. Wrote this back in 2012. You can pick up a copy in our store or on Amazon or any fine store, bookstore across America. All right, friends. Well, we've reached the end of today's podcast episode. I sure hope this has been helpful for you. We've covered a lot of information today, and I want to close out our podcast episode, as I close out every episode, with a final word. This time it's taken from the writings of German poet, playwright, and statesman Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, when he wrote, "None are more hopelessly enslaved than those who falsely believe they are free." And that's just something to think about. Remember, friends, when you want the truth about the global economy, just follow the money. Have a safe and prosperous week, and we'll see you right back here next time. Until then, God bless.